There has been talk of Antonio Inoki being interested in buying TNA since it would give him the controlling rights to the NWA titles.
I'm sorry, wait, what?
Since part of Inoki still lives in the 70s, that's far more valuable to him than it is to most.
How much money do you think Inoki would be willing to dump into this?
So apparently the main thing he wanted was the NWA. So like shortly after this, there's another note in the Observer that through Dave Marquez, he made a proposal to buy the NWA from member promoters in the US, and he was voted down in the end. So like this is not like just a pie in the sky Observer note like the Rock one was a few months ago, where it's just like a thing that happened, and like Dave followed up on that I think last month, being like, there has been no further talks between The Rock and TNA. No shit, Dave. But this is one of those things where like Inoki seemed to have a flight of fancy and seemed to fancy himself buying the NWA. So he made like an actual proposal to buy it from the actual NWA. But of course he wouldn't get the titles with that, or it's at least unclear whether he'd get the titles with that, because TNA have a long-term lease on the titles. So then he was like, buy TNA too?
Yeah, New Japan of America.
The original New Japan of America. Don't you send me COVID invasion screenshots. I'm not looking at them.
Please. Just the part of the trailer that happened to play at the same time. Originally, I was just going to send you the poster, but then that was what was playing at the same time.
I absolutely refuse to look at anything related to that movie. I don't even think Kev's in it much. I think it's a lie.
He's on the poster.
So Antonio Inoki could potentially buy TNA.
Again, my alternate reality powers.
Where he ousts Jeff Jarrett, just walks into the building, slaps him, and he never comes back.
Now for the most devastating news.
Read the follow-up. TNA TV wrestler Lex Lovett has announced he will be retiring from wrestling with his final match on June 10th at the Jeff Peterson Cup in Brandon, Florida against AJ Styles, with an immediate follow-up that he's only retiring for Florida indie wrestling.
Wait a minute.
He told TNA officials that he'd still do job duty for them as needed. The belief is he has new work hours, or he's needed to work weekend nights, so he simply wasn't available for indie shows anymore.
Holy shit. What a whiplash of emotions I just felt.
Your favorite wrestler, well, actually no, Buck Quatermain's your favorite wrestler. Lex Lovett is number 2, I know you. But
it's true.
Your second favorite wrestler nearly retiring, but then being like, I will continue to lose on television, it's fine.
What a trooper.
Because he can't work weekends, but TNA tapes Tuesdays, so I assume that's okay. Unless it's a weekend pay-per-view, but let's face it, Lex Lovett's not on those.
He might be.
There is a 20-man gauntlet match that he's not in, so...
Well, yeah, he's working.
Jushin Liger was spoken with about doing the Slammiversary pay-per-view show. He would have challenged Daniels for the X title, as the gimmick is they're trying to do top international stars being brought in to face Daniels. Ultimo Dragon has also been talked about as a potential challenger. The Liger thing fell through because it was during the Best of the Super Junior tournament.
But don't you worry, guys. Liger will be in to have a disappointing X Division title match at some point.
Yes, and he'll also be in to have a cage match with Daniels that he pulls out of.
Yes, which they put Key in.
Yeah, and that's the return of Loki.
See, I know my TNA. I know my T. My T and A.
Yeah, we'll see Liger later in the year.
Liger!
That is the extensive news. I think the longest news segment we have ever done.
This is the news show.
Juicy news month here in TNA with TV deals and deaths and political turmoil.
Yeah, and Lex Lovett.
And Lex Lovett, the most important part.